Only last week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick.
What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Daniel Triple D Dubois. Don Charles, get this. According to Fight Fan TV Live, word on the canvas is former world champion Daniel Dubois has parted ways and left trainer Don Charles and will now be trained by Tony Sims at Matchroom Gym. And advised by Sam Jones, most recently, the Rumford Bull Johnny Fisher has joined the gym also. Hashtag Fight Fan TV Live, hashtag Daniel Dubois, hashtag Tony Sims, hashtag Don Charles, hashtag Heavyweight Boxer, hashtag Matchroom Gym, hashtag Queensberry Promotions, hashtag Johnny Fisher, hashtag Johnny Ryder, hashtag Boxing, hashtag Combat Sports, and let me counterpunch. People, I think now it's appropriate to backtrack. You guys remember when Spencer Farad was on the channel, right?
And like the video that you made, you said, I guarantee you that he's going to get shot if Daniel Dubois was not to come out successful. And he didn't come out successful, and I'm just saying, in the UK, we call it a P45. When you get your P45, that's your papers that you're no longer employed. He's going to get his P45. If he hasn't got it this morning, he's going to get it in a couple of days.
And he said this would be, and everybody called him a hater, and Don Charles lashed out at Spencer, and he was like, you know what, Spencer Farad, because there is a lot of Spencers in the business of boxing. And he said that, the devil is in disguise and he works for the devil, or he is the devil or a demon or something negative or something demonic or something like that, right? And I watched Spencer Farad when I conducted the interview. You know what I mean? You can pretty much tell someone's demeanor if they were trying to push something or someone wanted you to believe a particular thing versus someone casually just speaking their mind to you. This guy was washing dishes at his house. And he was telling me, it was like, cut, it's done. He's better be looking. They're going to ask him, if you don't want this fight cut, he got to look for something else. He got to go. Right? And I think that, that was before everything was said and done, and it's always better to leave a prediction instead of saying something in hindsight, because anybody can say anything after the knowledge is already out there. And it's funny, the knowledge predicted that this would happen. Now it said word on the canvas, so we don't know how true it is. So if this is false information, it's because of Fight Fan TV Live, so they, I don't know where they get their information from. This will seem to be cleared up as soon as it gets back to the right people, and then we will handle that accordingly if it is wrong. But word on the canvas, this has happened. Tony Sims has decided to step in for Don Charles. And now the question you ask yourself is why? Why, after all this, after all the pretending, all the defending, all the invested interest that Don Charles has put into Daniel Dubois, he takes a loss, he loses? Well, I think that any fighter that gets with any trainer should have a level of respect or a level of control that he is willing to give the trainer. Because if he's not willing to give that trainer full access and full total control of that fighter, I think it's pointless. And I look at clips of Daniel in Don's corner, in the first Usyk fight. I'm not really sure about the second fight because I didn't really see a lot of corner action and corner instruction from Don to Daniel, to be fair. But in this case, in the first fight, I seen a lot of distracted energy. I seen a lot of disconnect with Daniel. If you seen Daniel was just, he was looking back at his dad like he was a lost boy in a park or something. You know what I'm saying? Like he was always looking to see where his dad is versus, you know, what Don was telling him. And Don was getting his attention like, yo, what's going on with you? I'm right here. You know, and me personally, that would piss me off anyway. You know what I mean? That would piss me off if I'm trying to train this kid and I'm hired to train this kid and all this kid could do is keep, you know, looking and keeping his attention elsewhere besides right where he's supposed to be, right in front of him, because that's where I'm at. That would piss me off. And like I told you guys, if that's the case, he's doing Don Charles a favor. He's doing Don Charles a favor for that, because why would you, if this is the case, people, okay, why would you want to train anyone that you don't have full total control over? Because I guarantee when you're dealing with any fighter, I mean, any trainer, like Teddy Atlas, like Virgil Hunter, like Derek James, I guarantee you, he's not going to have his daddy around them. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you that wouldn't be the case. I guarantee you if he had a trainer like that. I can't say that about Robert Garcia because he allowed AJ's camp to do it, so I can't add it. I think Robert did it for the money. But those guys that I mentioned, I don't think that they will allow the pops to dictate how much access that I have with this fighter. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even want my dad around, bro. Do that mentorship shit when you get back to the UK. Don't do it on my watch. Don't sit there and come, because don't sit there and come in between or distract or confuse my fighter when I'm trying to tell him something that's going to help him possibly save his damn life. Don't do that. And I feel that that was happening in that camp. I heard there was a lot of confusion anyway between Don Charles and Stan Dubois bumping heads on how, the training camp and how it should be ran. And I say this in closing, people. If Stan Dubois felt that he could be a better trainer, he should have trained his son his damn self. Period. You know what I'm saying? Period. Because it's not unheard of. We've seen that many, many, many times before, where you have a father that invested in his son, that decided no one is better and no one knows my son better than I do. So only I can do this the best possible way. Therefore, I'm going to do it my way. Right? And I think that's what he should do. And if Tony Sims, because I know this was a decision like in this article by Sam Jones. And like I told you guys in the last video about Danny Dubois, I seen this coming. And I said, he ain't got rid of Don Charles yet. You see what I mean? So I think this was a matter of fact. I think it's a sweep the kitchen, get rid of everybody. Like I said, the last video, get rid of everybody. So I'm not really mad about it. And I'm damn sure not surprised about it. And I know Spencer Farad is damn sure not surprised about what's going on. You know what I mean? Because things happen and it happened, rumor wise. So we will see what takes place. But in closing, people, if Tony Sims, and the guy that's supposed to replace Don Charles, if he doesn't have total control over Danny Dubois and his dad is still running interference like he's doing, it will make no difference in the future. That's my counterpunch. You guys tell me what you think of this rumor that Daniel Dubois has parted ways, or should I say Team Dubois has parted ways with Don Charles as head trainer. Of course, please subscribe. and you guys been counterpunch.